There's a quote by Rumi. Out beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. As I age and mature in life, I'm reminded to judge others a little less harshly. We don't always know what's going on in their lives. But I'm also trying to learn to soften my inner critic, that judgmental side of me that can be useful in when maybe I'm not trying my hardest on something. But sometimes that inner critic can be a little too harsh and a little damaging. So on the yoga mat, I like to practice from a place of non-judgment. I want to work as hard as I can, do the best I can in that moment, but practice from a place of non-judgment, of softness and support and kindness. And I invite you to do the same today as we move through some moon salutations. Chandra Namaskar. Come onto a standing position, feet just slightly wider than your hips. And I find this sequence a little easier if you face the side of your mat rather than the length of it. So you can take your feet wider when needed. Bring your palms together at your heart center. As we move through this practice, just breathe naturally. Imagine you're flowing through water, slowly, easily, gracefully, as we move through the poses in Chandra Namaskar. Palms together. Reach your arms up over your head. Let your hips roll to the right, hands to the left. Just let your body stretch and move comfortably back to center and over to the other side. Back to center. Bend your elbows so your palms are facing each other. Walk your feet a little wider and turn your toes out. Bend your knees. Straighten your legs and straighten your arms, palms out. Pivot on your toes and send your heels out. Pivot on your right heel to turn your right toes out. Palms forward. Arms and legs straight, reach your right arm forward. Let your right arm lower, left arm can come up. Just breathe, enjoy. Come on back up and lower your arms. Pivot on your left heel and turn your left toes in and turn your body to the right. You can walk your right foot to the right or left foot to the left to widen the stance. Hands on hips. Spine and legs stay straight. Just bend at the hips to fold forward. Think right hip back. Bend your right knee and lower both hands to the mat and step the left foot back a little further. Keeping that left knee lifted, think of softening the hips lower towards the mat. Bring your hands to the inside of the right foot. Turn to the left and let your feet follow. Right knee stays bent. Press that left foot deep into the mat. Walk your hands to center and bend your left knee, straightening your right leg, pressing that right foot deep into the mat. Now turn to the left, keeping the left knee bent, right leg straight. Think of softening the hips towards the mat. And now step the right foot forward just enough that you can pivot on the toes and lower the heel to the mat and come up to a standing position. Straighten your legs, hands on hips, bring the right hip forward, legs and spine straight, bend at the hips, and fold. Come on back up. Pivot on the right heel to turn the right toes out, facing the side of your mat. Legs and arms straight. Palms forward. Reach forward your left hand, left leg stays straight. Let the left arm lower as the right arm comes up. Come on back up. Palms forward, arms straight. Bring your left toes in. Bend your elbows, palms facing each other. Pivot on your toes to bring your heels in. Bend your knees. Straighten your legs and arms. Bring your toes in. Adjust your feet so they're comfortably wide apart. Let your hips roll to the right, hands to the left. Back to center and other side. Back to center, palms together, and lower your hands. We'll do this again. Palms together at your heart center. Reach your arms up over your head. Hips to one side, hands to the other. Back to center and to the other side. Back to center. Bend your elbows, palms facing each other. Take your feet a little wider, pivot on your toes and on your heels, sending your toes out, and bend your knees. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms, palms down. Pivot on your toes and send your heels out. Turn your palms forward. Pivot on your right heel, turn those toes out. Arms and legs stay straight, reach forward with your right arm. When you've gone as far as you can, let that right arm lower, left arm up. Come on back up. Lower your arms. Pivot on your left heel to bring your toes in. Turn to the right to face the direction of your right foot. Adjust your feet wide enough. Spine and legs straight. Fold forward at the hips. Right hip back. Bend your right knee and lower your hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. Soften the hips lower. Bring your hands to the inside of the right foot. Turn to the left, letting your feet follow. Walk your hands to center. Bend your left knee as you walk your hands to your left foot. Right leg straight. Turn to the left, let your feet follow. Left knee bent, right leg straight. Soften the hips. Step the right foot forward enough to pivot on the toes and lower that heel. Come on up to standing. Hands on hips. Bring that right hip forward, left hip back. Send your hips back, spine straight as you fold. Keep that both legs straight. Make your way back up. Pivot on the right heel. Turn those toes to the side. Arms out by the side, palms forward. Arms and legs straight. Reach forward with your left hand. Let your hips roll back. Let your left arm lower and your right arm comes up. Make your way back up, palms forward. Pivot on your left heel. Bring your left toes in so your feet are parallel to each other. Pivot on your toes and bring your heels in. Bend your elbows and bend your knees. Maybe sit more deeply. Without judgment, do what you can. Straighten your legs and straighten your arms. Walk your feet in just a little bit closer, but still wider than your hips. Hips to one side, hands to the other. Back to center, hips to the opposite side, hands the other way. Back to center, palms together at your heart center. Release your hands. So bring your feet in a little closer. We'll end with a balancing pose. This is always a good practice. Every day, try a little harder. Try to go a little further. But be soft in your practice. Just do the best you can without any judgment. Keep your left foot firmly on the mat, left knee slightly bent. Come onto the toes of the right foot. You can start with your hands on your hips or by your side, whatever's more comfortable. Turn your right knee out. Focus your gaze on a spot in front of you, maybe on the floor, or maybe on the wall or a tree. Something that's not moving. Pause here and breathe. Option to slide the sole of the right foot to the left ankle. Maybe this is where you stay in tree pose today. Or press that sole of the right foot into the left calf. Or maybe today's the day you bring it right up to your inner thigh, but avoid the knee. Option to bring palms together at your heart center. Maybe reach your arms up over your head. Just do what you can today without judgment. Be sure to breathe. And now lower your arms and lower your foot. Now press your right foot into the mat. Keep that knee soft. Maybe start with your hands on your hips or by your side. Come onto the toes of your left foot and turn that left knee out. Keep that standing knee, the right knee that has most of your weight, keep that soft. It helps with balance. Focus your gaze. Maybe today you bring the sole of the left foot to the right ankle. You can keep the toes on the mat. Or press that left foot into the right calf. Engage them, press them together to support each other. Maybe today you try placing that foot on the inner thigh. No judgment if it doesn't work. We're trying our best. Maybe bring palms together at your heart center. Maybe reach your arms up over your head today. Just avoid the knee. You don't want to hurt that standing knee. One more breath. And slowly lower your arms and lower that foot. Thank you for practicing today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.